Hey guys, it's me, Emil, and today we're going to talk about the Muppet Movie. Now, if you guys didn't know, I'm a big fan of the Muppets. And if someone would come up to me on the street and be like, hey, why do you like the Muppet Movie so much? I'd probably respond with, because it's really good, and I really like it. But in my head, I would probably be thinking something like, in my opinion, the Muppet Movie isn't just a technological marvel that progressed what filmmakers could accomplish in movies for years and years to come, but it may just be the greatest beacon of hope to the lovers, the dreamers, and especially me. This movie means a lot to me. However, unlike most films in people's top 5, this film's plot isn't groundbreaking or anything. After we establish that the Muppets made a movie about how they approximately got together, the story follows Kermit, a frog with one goal, to find his rainbow connection and make millions of people happy. As he strums his banjo, a Hollywood agent floats up to him and says that he's got a lot of talent, and if he really wants to accomplish his dreams, he has to go to Hollywood and audition for a part for Dancing Frogs. Although Kermit knows that he'd miss living in the swamp, he realizes that going to Hollywood is the only way to make millions of people happy. So he moves right along alone to his path to Hollywood. Along the way, Kermit's kindness and aspirations help him befriend some of the other classic Muppet characters, like Fozzie, Gonzo, Piggy, the Electric Mayhem, and a few others. They all have a dream of joining some form of show business, so they travel across the country together in hopes of making their dreams come true.
You don't go to Bombay to become a movie star. You go where we're going, Hollywood.
Sure, if you want to do it the easy way.
But during their travels, they are chased by a wealthy businessman named Doc Hopper. He doesn't care about the passion of these frogs, dogs, bears, and chickens. He works as a complete foil to Kermit and wants to drag him back to the swamp where he'll work for him and make him money, but ruin the lives of countless little frogs. Kermit eventually overcomes his negotiations, and the Muppets finally make it to Hollywood and get the standard rich and famous contract. The movie clearly is a sort of autobiography slash biography, however you want to interpret that, of Jim Henson's road to Hollywood, told through the lens of the Muppets. A talented man slash frog from rural Mississippi has big dreams and meets plenty of others that share the same dream as him. I think that's why it feels so real to me. I mean, yeah, the whole point of animation and puppeteering is that you suspend your disbelief enough to truly believe that the actions of these characters are similar to the actions of a real-life human being. But I don't know, something about this movie lights a fire under me like nothing I've ever seen before. While most of the movie is filled with extremely clever jokes that sometimes you don't even realize until a rewatch,
Have you tried Hare Krishna?
there's at least 3 scenes in here that have made me cry actual, genuine tears. Like I'm saying, having to pause the movie and grab tissues multiple times. And you know what? It's okay for men to cry. There, I said it. The first scene that gets me all worked up like this, of course, is the opening song, Rainbow Connection. Wow, Emil, what a crazy and unique take you just had. Of course Rainbow Connection is a good song. It was nominated for an Oscar. Bro, let me live! I'ma be real. As a kid, I didn't understand a lot of the songs in this movie, but as I've grown up, the lyrics have started to take meaning and form in my head. And I started to not just listen to the song, but understand it. This song is catchy, yeah, but it's about believing in your dreams. Your hope could be an illusion. The thing you think you're supposed to be doing could be completely different, but Rainbow Connection is about keeping faith and knowing that if you truly want it and truly need it and believe that it's something that you're supposed to be, somehow, some way, you'll figure out how to get there and make those daydreams become a reality. Naturally, the second point in the movie that makes me emotional is the entire sequence that happens in the desert. Literally from start to finish, it's a toss-up where one of those single tears will come out of my eyeballs. In the scene, the Muppets get so close to Hollywood, but unfortunately, their car breaks down and they think that they're gonna miss the audition, when suddenly Gonzo starts to sing a pretty underrated song called I'm Going to Go Back There Someday. Personally, I think this one is almost as emotionally taxing and meaningful as Rainbow Connection. But I'm also a huge fan of Gonzo, so I don't know, sue me I guess. In a literal sense, Gonzo's singing about how he's accomplished a new dream that he didn't know he had, which was soaring in the sky, and he wants to go back there someday. But to me, watching, and the Muppets around him, the song isn't about the sky. The sky that calls him is similar to Kermit's fascination with rainbows. It represents a dream that you can see and imagine, but it's still out of reach. I think the sky and weather patterns used to represent dreams are extremely smart. Just like our hopes and dreams, we see the sky every day, but we can't touch it because we don't know how to get there. And it begs the question that, is anything that we can't touch even real? Well, it is if we believe it is. And in the song, similar to Kermit, even though Gonzo questions if he even belongs there, he knows that he plans to stay, and he's going to go back there someday. But if this song wasn't heartbreaking enough, it's followed by a scene of Kermit doing some self-reflection. And I mean that literally, like he's actually talking to himself, like he's get it? Because he's like actually talking to himself. Although it's short, it can make you realize some great things about Kermit, or yourself, or why you should even be doing anything in this world. It starts by Kermit walking off alone into the desert, and he questions if he even knows anything about Hollywood anyways. He doesn't feel talented. He's starting to feel just like everybody else who gets told they're special. Kermit feels like he gave his friends too much hope, and now he feels that he might have ruined their entire lives for feeding them false promises. However, Kermit's reflection helps him realize the real reason why he had been doing all of this in the first place.
Whether you promised them something or not, you gotta remember, they wanted to come. But that's because they believed in me. No, they believed in the dream. Well, so do I, but you do? Yeah, of course I do. Well then, I guess I was wrong when I said I never promised anyone. I promised me.
And out of all the possibilities where I could get extremely emotional in this point, I think, is where it happens the most. I think self-doubt and a loss of confidence is a relatable thing for just about everyone. But seeing this happen to Kermit the Frog, a guy who casually sings about accomplishing his dreams, is objectively the most heartbreaking thing ever. Kermit never gives up, and I think it's part of the reason why it's not Fozzie or Gonzo or even Rolf that talks some sense into him here. If Kermit gives up, everyone gives up. And I think that's why the only person that can talk him out of this depressive episode is him. Now, I don't want to make this all about myself because it isn't, but this is my channel, and I feel the need to explain why this tiny scene is probably one of the most meaningful pieces of art to me. Although kind of on the nose, my whole life I've really wanted to do something like Kermit. From as long as I can remember, I've had dreams of spreading my weird creative spirit through movies. And did I ever think it was realistically possible? Not really. But one day after the pandemic, I told my friends about my dream of making a movie. And surprisingly, they were on board. I don't know how many of them actually want to make movies, but they chose to help me out anyways. It never felt forced for me. Although there were some difficult moments in the production process, we always had a good time. They always care about the finished project, having fun, but most importantly, they always cared about me. And I couldn't ever be more grateful for them. I don't know if any of this will ever go anywhere, but the memories I made with my friends keep me going, and believing that this is possible. They've inspired me every single day to keep going because they're so important to me. But I can't forget the most important person that I promised to do this for. It's because I promised me. And if you have crazy dreams like this, make sure you surround yourself with people who truly care about you. Because if there's one thing I learned from the Muppets, a dream gets better the more people you share it with. And again, I don't know if it'll all work out, but I can keep holding out hope because at least for Kermit, the believing pays off. The final moment that makes me sometimes cry is the end of the journey, when Kermit and the Muppets finally accomplish their dreams. And for the first time in the whole movie, they aren't singing about what they want, but what you want. They destroy the fourth wall entirely and acknowledge that us viewers have dreams that started from when we were young, and they are making this movie for us. We too didn't give up, and we kept trying, and they're trying to say that the reason they made this movie was because of us, and to tell us to keep believing we can do it. No matter what you want to do, you can figure it out. You can achieve it. You can find your rainbow connection because... And that's why I like the Muppet Movie. I don't know if it's it was profound or anything. I don't know what you guys actually thought about this video, but if you enjoyed it, how about you hit subscribe, because I tend to make random Muppet videos a lot because I do care about those little funny guys. I think that about does it for this week's video, and I'll see you guys next week. Bye.